And it is now 8:20 on your Sunday morning. Of course, it's Father's Day. We want to pause and take some time to talk about the importance of making sure that men are taking care of their mental health. Our wonderful friend Kevin Petersen with the Chronic Hope Institute joins us now to talk about 5 major men's mental health issues. Kevin, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being with us as always.
Oh, good morning to you too, Jordan. Thanks for having me.
You know, this is so important, Kevin, so I want to take some time to really dive into each of these points. Let's start with the overall arching question of why it is so important for you and I to be sitting here talking about men's mental health right now.
You know, it's important because men struggle with mental health, but they've been taught to do it silently or alone, or to actually deny it and push it aside. And there's a stigma for men about asking for help that means weakness or failure. And it's really important for men to talk to men and break the stigma of being stoic and then over not being able to express your feelings like you and I are doing now.
Right, exactly. Like this conversation, this example that we're doing right now, this is so incredibly important for others to witness. As we do this, let's dive into those 5 major mental health issues that we were just talking about, starting with, I know the first one being depression.
Yeah. So over 6 billion men suffer from depression every year. That's what the statistics tell us. But men will actually report it as being fatigued, irritable, apathetic, loss of interest, because they feel like using the term depression or sadness is, again, some sort of failure or weakness. And that's an important thing for us to change.
And also, Kevin, that's been passed down generation to generation, that maybe they don't even know they're suffering depression. Is there any way to know when, hey, you're not fatigued, you are depressed?
Yeah, you know, it's okay to acknowledge and admit that you're having a tough time getting through the day. It's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to stay interested in work. It's hard to stay interested in your relationships. And, you know, that's the critical piece, is expressing yourself and saying these things instead of like keeping them in or feeling ashamed.
Absolutely. All right, what do we have next as far as the bigger issues?
Well, the next one is bipolar, which the typical onset age is 16 to 25. And men experience this on an exact same level as women, 100%. And then we look at psychosis and schizophrenia. And do you know 90% of people diagnosed by the age of 30 are men? Isn't that amazing?
That's yeah. And you know, you were talking about when we were talking about bipolar, you're saying it's actually pretty similar statistics to men versus women. What's the difference here, though? Is it really just the fact that we're not talking about it?
Yep. Sorry. Yep. I jumped ahead on you. Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely not talking about it because we're taught not to. We're taught to keep that in and to keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, and of course, Kevin, we know that another really big issue has to do around something we hear you talk about quite often, which is addiction and alcoholism.
Well, yeah, well, you know, the statistics show that 1 in 5 men suffer from addiction, which is higher than, you know, the general population rate. With women, it's generally about 10 to 12%, and men, it's about 20%. And again, you know, it's obviously being used as a coping mechanism, as sort of to self-soothe or numb out. And unfortunately, it gets taken too far and it goes over the edge and can't be brought back.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, briefly, we only have just a few seconds left, but I do want to just throw in one more question for you. So if you are, you know, someone who is suffering with all this and you're kind of holding this all in, where do you suggest you begin to even become comfortable talking about this with somebody else?
You know, I think the couple of important things are, if you're looking for help, always, you know, take a look at psychologytoday.com, take a look at your local community mental health centers. And one of the things I always say is, you know, try and find someone that you can reach out to and just say, hey, I need help. And if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I need help, the most important thing to do is to listen to them and not try to tell them what to do, not try to judge them or direct them, but just listen, have an open mind, have an open heart, and that's how it all starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible advice from our wonderful friend, Kevin Petersen. Kevin, always great to see you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.